Hello, everyone. So, currently, I'm going through my Xbox games. I'm playing them, and I'm taking a few out that I didn't really, I don't really enjoy. Maybe a couple duplicates, but mostly, for the most part, I'm playing them. And I wanted to go ahead and make a collection video of currently my own games because some of these are going away. Some of these I'm going to sell, and I'll kind of let you know which ones I'm going to sell. But we're going to do an Xbox collection. Let's start off with ATV Quad Power Racing 2. Pretty cool actually. Um, Lots of fun and a really great soundtrack. So yeah, there's that. Then we've got Dead or Alive 3, really great. Beat 'em up, really fun. I like there's a few other 3D beat 'em ups I like more, but Dead or Alive 3, lots of fun. Then next we have Grabbed by the Ghoulies, which I didn't really like that much. The control scheme's neat. I do like the graphics, but yeah, gameplay is just not that fun, and some enemies are very, very annoying to deal with. So yeah, I didn't really like this that much. Plus, to not only that, but I also own it on Rare Replay, which I own digitally. So that one is going to be sold. Then next up, we have Halo 2. Awesome game. Awesome. It was really fun playing this game again. And I got to mention that I am recording over the footage. I am recording the gameplay footage as well, so I did record Halo 2, but sadly, the VHS that I was using to record the last, hour and a half of the game, that VHS was broken. And it was only until after I rewound the VHS did I find out that it was basically unwatchable, which sucks. It stinks. That sucked. So, I don't have that last hour and a half of footage. But anyway, great game. I love Halo 2. Probably my first or second favorite Halo game. So next up, we have another game that I'm probably going to sell, Intellivision Lives. So this game, it's not terrible, and I do like the history aspect of it, and I like the documentary stuff in it and whatnot. I just don't like any of these games. I just couldn't get into a single one of them. I'm not an Intellivision guy. Atari, there's a good amount of games. Activision definitely helped with giving you a good amount of games that were pretty fun to play. Intellivision didn't have that luxury. I cannot get into some of these games. Next up, we got Kung Fu Chaos, which this game is infuriating story mode. I do not recommend the story mode to anybody. You will constantly get stun locked. You'll die very easily for cheap means. Not very fun, but if you play the game with just a group of friends or a group of AIs and it's just like a 4-player, winner takes all, it's actually really fun. It's a really fun party game. You just got to get past that story mode, man. The only problem is you unlock more levels by playing more of the story mode. So, yeah, that sucks. But, hey, still fun multiplayer. Then we've got Loons, The Fight for Fame. This one's pretty cool, too. The only thing I don't really like about it is it can be a little bit luck-based sometimes. And, party fighters, they do have their luck-based, especially ones that have items. But this one is a little bit too luck-based sometimes. There will be some times where you'll get an item that'll just stun you in place, and other players can hit you. Or you'll get an item that will that will really hit you hard, and you'll be kind of stuck like that. Or you'll get an item that literally does nothing, and you can't do anything until the item wears off. So, yeah, it can be pretty annoying with how luck-based it is. But other than that, it's a lot of fun. My other main gripe is there's only 4 characters. You might think maybe, well, it's just on the cover, and then maybe on the back it's just that. No, there are literally only 4 characters. So you can't play as Wile E. Coyote. You can't play as Foghorn Leghorn. It's just these 4. So kind of a little bit annoying that it's such a limited roster of characters. So next up is another game that I will be selling. That is Max Payne. So before you say anything, no, I do like Max Payne. I do. But it's one of those games I really debated it before before wanting to sell it. I really debated it, and I asked myself, you know, am I ever going to play this again? Because a while back, about a year ago, I played through the entire game, and I didn't beat it. There was a boss that I got stuck on, but I played through most of the game, like 80% of the game, and I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it a lot. And the only problem is, I you know, going back through these Xbox games, I was like, okay, Max Payne, it just, nothing warrants me to ever play it again. It was fun for that first time around. I'm never gonna play it again, and I know I'm not. So I'm just gonna put that in the sell pile. If anything, I can emulate the game. But yeah, I don't see myself ever playing that game again. It was fun, but I just don't want to go through it again. So another game that will most likely be sold is Midway Arcade Treasures. So again, this is a really good game, really good, but emulation. The Xbox controller isn't really that great for a ton of these games, and you can't emulate it. So yeah, emulation is going to be the way to go for this one. But it's a great collection of a lot of really fun games. But yeah, emulation. Next up is another game that I'm going to sell. I know these are kind of like a lot of them, but trust me, I have my reasons. Project Gotham Racing 2. Originally, I bought this game on my original Xbox. And that one read CDs. And when you're playing this game, this is honestly a very generic, fairly dull racing game. But when you have your own CDs, you got Metallica playing in the background, you got, you know, Shantae music playing in the background, it makes it makes the go a lot less dull. My Xbox currently has a weird problem where it doesn't read CDs, which makes it very, very boring. The music in this is very quiet, and it's like no thrills whatsoever. You barely, none of the songs are memorable. So it's just a lot of very dull racing, and honestly, I mean, I can play maybe an hour of it, and then I'm like, I need to move on to something else because this is just really boring. Next up is Sega GT 2002 and Jet Set Radio. So Sega GT 2002, I probably would sell it. I don't care for this game at all. I don't really think it's that good of a racing game, but Jet Set Radio Future is pretty good. It's a lot better than the first Jet Set Radio. I was wondering that going into it, is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse? I think it's much better. They really streamlined the format, and I think it's pretty darn fun. And of course, great soundtrack, as Jet Set Radio is known for. So next up is an oddity. Shrek, the T-rated Shrek game. All new environments, plus new characters designed by Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn. This is... Honestly, it's a game that isn't very good, but it is so strange that I want to keep it. It is such a strange game. Look up a video on it. It has nothing to do with the movie. Absolutely nothing. Donkey isn't in it whatsoever. It's got barely anything to do with the movie. And Shrek runs super fast, and he has farting techniques and burping techniques, and it's such a strange game. I recommend anybody give it a play at least once, because it is just so weird. So next up is Soul Calibur 2. I absolutely love Soul Calibur 2. I love this game so much. I played through it multiple times with multiple different characters. I love this game. I love Soul Calibur 2. Just tons of fun. My main is Spawn. So next up is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Great game. I love Star Wars Battlefront 2. Tons of nostalgia playing this on the original Xbox, which is why I'm keeping it. I do own it on Steam, and I bought that version later to play with friends, but I still have a ton of nostalgia playing it on Xbox, so I'm going to keep it on that. Great game. Then we've got a game I'm going to sell, Star Wars Episode 3. This is another one where I'm not selling it because it's bad. I can just emulate it. It's not the greatest game I've ever made. It's got some annoying enemies that are pretty annoying to deal with. So, I just ended up emulating it, and it runs for, perfectly fine emulated. So, it's a good game, but not really worthy of keeping. Then we've got Star Wars The Clone Wars and Tetris Worlds. So, just like with Sega GT, I don't care about Star Wars The Clone Wars. I've tried playing it, I never got into it. However, Tetris Worlds is pretty fun. It's a pretty fun Tetris game, and yeah, originally I thought, well, it's just Tetris, yada yada yada, but this game only goes for like $2. If I were to try and sell it, I'd get nothing for it. So, hey, I like the manual. Tetris is Tetris. It's good Tetris, so I'll keep it. And then we have another game I'm going to sell. This is the last game of the pile that I'm going to sell. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I just never got into this game. I bought this game on a whim. It was just there. I bought it. And yeah, I just never got into it. Traveler's Tales developed it, which is pretty neat. But yeah, I didn't really care for the combat. I didn't care for the levels. It just, nothing really stuck with me. And I ended up just playing for a little bit, about an hour, and saying, you know what, I'm done. Then we've got this next one. This is the one I'm actually currently playing, so we've caught up now. The Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules. This is such a fun game. If you're not a fan of the show, you probably wouldn't get much out of it, but me, being a fan, this game's great. It's such a cool game. The art style's great. The gameplay is just kind of like easy and fun. And I know that many people will probably think this is a downgrade, but all the voices are very compressed and they sound very very muffled. I like that because I'm weird. So really fun game. Then we have got The Incredibles, which is all right. I like it. I think it can get overly challenging at points, to the point of being very frustrating, especially the dash levels. Those are really frustrating. But I think it's overall pretty fun, and, I like it. Then we have a game that I will probably sell, The Incredibles Rise of the Underminer. And the only thing is, I do like this game. I like it a lot. The only thing is, I can emulate it very easily. And I don't think it's good enough to really keep. So what my plan to do here is I plan to do a Let's Play of it, and then sell it afterwards. So, you'll get a Let's Play this soon. There's a few other Let's Plays that are going to be in it. I say soon, it'll probably be like August. But, yeah, I will probably do a Let's Play of that when I get around to it. The Simpsons Hit and Run. I paid $50 for it, and I don't regret a single penny of it, because I love this game. Tons of nostalgia playing this on one of, like, the family Xbox 360 years and years and years ago. We're talking, like, 15 years ago. Tons of nostalgia with it, just tons of fun to run around. It's a great game. The SpongeBob movie game, again, fantastic game. I love the SpongeBob movie game. It's just tons of fun, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's a great game. Play it. I did a speedrun of it. ToeJam and Earl 3, Mission to Earth. This was one that, when I got my Xbox, I had on the radar for a while, because it's an Xbox exclusive, and I don't really hear people talking about it that much, but I thought it looked kind of interesting, so I'll give it a whirl whenever I get done with the SpongeBob movie. And then lastly, for the boxed games, we've got Tony Hawk's Underground. This is one that I do have nostalgia for, but I don't really care for the game that much. Even back when I used to own it, I didn't care for the game that much, but I mainly just bought it because, hey, I used to own it, I'll have nostalgia for it. And, I don't know. I don't know how much nostalgia I really do have, because I don't remember playing it that much. I didn't like it when I first played it. I didn't like it that much. But I got it as a gift from a friend in 2019. So maybe I'll give it another try. Maybe I'll like it more. I know people love Underground, so we'll see. But I don't see myself playing that very much. I see myself selling that. And then we have a few loose games. Xbox Live Arcade. This is a compilation disc of a bunch of demos from games that you could buy on Xbox Live, original Xbox Live. So kind of neat. And The demos are okay. They range from very basic games to pretty crap games, honestly. But, you know, it's got Zuma in there and Bejeweled and stuff like that. And it's a cool little oddity for what it is. It was only like $1. So it's a cool little oddity for, you know, $1 worth oddity. Burnout 3 Takedown. I haven't played Burnout 3 yet. I've owned this game for a while and haven't touched it. I've played Burnout Revenge, a lot of it. I love it. So I'm assuming I'm going to like Burnout 3 as well. And then finally, Mad Dash Racing, which I bought this game on my original Xbox way back when. And although it has some faults, I really do find it a lot of fun. And I'm really curious to get back into it because this version is a version that I bought afterwards. This version I bought fairly recently, so I'm really curious to get back into it and try it out again. So that's it. So that's my collection thus far. Of course, you know, I already mentioned some of these games are going to get sold, but for right now, these are the Xbox games I own.